Good morning. My name is Savneet Singh. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of GoldBullion International. Along with me, I have Peter Custer, our Chief Technology Officer. Today, we're here to demo our physical precious metals trading platform. Our platform is the first of its kind in its industry in that it allows investors the ability to buy, trade, and store physical precious metals in the same manner you'd buy a stock or bond. So, the question is, why is this relevant? And we think it's relevant for a couple of reasons. The first is, after the financial crisis, investors started to transition towards hard assets because they lost faith in our paper-based currencies and investments and things of that nature. And traditionally, the only hard asset we really owned were our homes. And the crisis led to a movement towards other hard assets like commodities and precious metals. Secondly, we think it's important because those investors who wanted to get exposure to precious metals often had to go through very untransparent means to buy them, where they paid very, very high prices and didn't get a good quality of service. So, the next question is, why wasn't something like this created before? Gold is the oldest asset of our time. It was the first financial asset, it was the first currency, it was the first investment. And it makes no sense for it not to be freely bought, traded, and stored. And the simple reason is, it's very hard to acquire, and it's not available to the masses. Unlike almost every other broadly held financial asset, physical gold does not trade on an exchange. It's an over-the-counter market. So I'll walk you through an example. If I was an investor today and I wanted to buy a physical bar of gold for my investment portfolio, I'd literally need to call 5 or 6 different gold dealers and convince them to work with me and say, I'm a real client, here's my money. Then figure out which dealer had the best price. Once I got comfortable with that dealer, I then have to coordinate a transportation vendor, an insurance vendor, a storage vendor, all while having none of that information dynamically reconciled into my investment account. So, and given that complexity, the banks and wealth management firms couldn't really afford to do this to the masses and only offered it to the very high end of their client base. So our platform was created to really democratize that process of ownership and make these type of investments available to investors of all sizes. So let's quickly show you how we do that. Up here we have our order entry screen, and we tried to mimic this to be very similar to the common stock trading platforms we all use today. So in this example, we'll run you through our own white label portal, but our goal is oftentimes to integrate to existing trading platforms, whether it be a wealth management account, your financial advisor, or a common stock trading platform. So it's organized very simply by gold, platinum, palladium, and silver, as well as the size of the order. And then we give the investors the option to choose the location where they like their investment stored. So if Peter went ahead and tried to buy 10 1-ounce bars of gold in New York, he'd click buy. And then be brought to, again, a very clean, simple order entry screen where he'd type in the quantity of the assets he wanted. So let's say he wanted to buy 10 bars. Press next, confirm his order. And just like that, in a very simple manner, he's now placed an order to have 10 1-ounce bars of gold stored in New York, fully audited, fully insured, and all reconciled into his existing investment account. So he can see his stocks, he can see his bonds, and then see his alternative investments, whether it's gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. But let's take it to the back end to show you the real complexity of what we've created. This is what we call our trade blotter, and we've again organized it by location. So we have New York, Salt Lake City, Zurich, and London, as well as the type of metals, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and the size bar. And as I mentioned in my introduction, the hardest part about really creating a technology platform for this industry is that it's all over the counter. Everyone's over the phone, and it really hasn't been innovated in 50 years. So what we have done is synthetically created that exchange. So if we click on Peter's order, and Peter had placed an order before, so they've aggregated together, what we've done is actually bid out Peter's order to a market of dealers. So he said, hey, Peter wants 10 bars of gold, give us your best price. And you can see on the top right that dealer G has come back with the best price. So before, when you were calling 10 different dealers to get a price, we actually do that automatically and dynamically and effectively create the utility of an exchange without actually having an exchange. And we think this does 2 things. One, it creates price transparency. Every dealer knows that they're fighting with other dealers for each order, and in return, we get by far the best price for our clients. Secondly, it makes it available to the masses. By funneling orders together in an exchange-type format, you're able to convince dealers who traditionally would only want to work with very large clients to work with everybody. And we think those 2 aspects really make our platform appealing to large financial firms as well as the common investor. So we'll quickly continue the order, press buy. Our trader will then look at the details, confirm that everything's okay, and go through a process of confirming it. And once this is done, Peter's order has now been sent out to the dealer where 10 1-ounce bars are literally being moved from one vault to another. An insurance agreement's been put in place, a transportation order has been sent out, and all this information is being reconciled back to his investment account, so it's just like buying a stock or a bond. So, who uses a platform like this? We at GoldBullion International recently integrated into the largest and most prestigious wealth management firm in the world, where a financial advisor at that firm can now literally type in a ticker and have a bar of gold, silver, platinum, or palladium stored for their clients in 4 locations around the world by doing nothing outside of what they do with their day-to-day processes. So if they type in a ticker to buy a stock, they can now type in a ticker and have a bar of gold. And we think by making it that easy, we can help promote the ownership of these assets, which were traditionally only limited to the very high end of society. We also work with hedge funds, investment funds, pension funds, and family offices to create really easy ways for them to buy and trade these assets, and so that everybody can have exposure to these type of assets. And just like mutual funds democratized the process of ownership for stocks in the 1970s, we think we can do the same for precious metals today. And so we love to connect with anyone at large financial houses, trading platforms, reporting softwares, or even white label partners who are interested in leveraging our technology, our relationships, or our platform. So thank you.